Hello, students. Very good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Dev Singh from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar, Gorakhpur. Dear students, this time we are reading chapter number 2. As you know that this is revision time and our topic is land, water and soil. Here we have to read the topic farming. Under this topic, at first you have to read contour farming. You see what is contour farming? Contour farming, contour barriers helps to reduce soil erosion and it also helps to store more water in the soil as this is a great agricultural benefit. The contour barriers can be made of stone, crop stalks and leaves, or you can say that earth mounds. So these are the barriers that is useful to reduce the soil erosion and also to store the water in a particular land. Now, contour plowing. Contour plowing is also a farming practice of plowing across a slope along its contours. The contour plowing helps in the slowing down of running water during rainstorms, allowing water to percolate into the soil. Means this is a very nice plowing method to cultivate the land in the uneven land where the land has a great slope. So in such type of land, the contour plowing is helpful, and during the rainy season it also allow water to percolate into the soil. Now the next is intercropping. Intercropping is a method of growing two or more crops on the same land in the same growing season. Means in the same growing season means in a season if you are producing more than two crops on the same land, this process will be known as intercropping. Generally, one is a fast growing crop while other takes longer to mature. Now, terrace farming. Terrace farming is a method of farming. It involves growing crop on the sides of hills and mountains and a broad step like formation. It also helps prevent or reduce the run of rainwater and carrying of soil with it. So this is called terrace farming. Means terrace farming, a method of farming. Is this method is especially used in hills and mountains area, as you can see in this figure how one by one ladder type of step has been made by the peasants, and here the peasants are cultivating the land. Now you see the next your heading is crop rotation. Crop rotation, when we grow two or more crops one after the other in a regular sequence on the same land, this method of farming is called crop rotation, and this control insect and disease and also help to conserve soil nutrients. The crop rotation is also known as mixed cropping. Mixed cropping and multiple cropping, also known as mixed and multiple cropping, and in this cropping we use two or more crops in a season. The farmers gets advantage of more than two harvests in a season on the same piece of land, and it is also helpful to increase the capital of farmers. Now the next heading is drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is the slow release of water process to each plants, and it is helpful to conserve water and prevent to soils erosion, runoff with too much of water. Means very slow process here, very slow process of water released very slowly. Water process is released in irrigation, and this is called drip irrigation. Next step, shelter belts are windbreak. Shelter belts are windbreaks. These also act as barriers against fast blowing wind, and it is usually also made up of one or more rows of trees or shrubs planted to provide shelter from wind and prevent soil erosion. So, students, this is also a process especially used in those areas where the chances of storm and where the winds blow very heavily. So there, uh, more one or more rows of tree or shrubs planted in a sequence uh, to provide shelter from the winds for our harvests. Okay. Now, what we can do, what we cannot do. To control soil erosion caused by human activity, we can take many following steps that is given below, like that. To stop excessive use of fertilizer, pesticide, and machinery for farming. Means at first we have to prevent the excessive use of fertilizer and pesticide in the farming. Secondly, to step up the process of afforestation or planting trees. Thirdly, to prevent soil pollution through seepage of chemical and other industry waste. And also to prevent excessive accumulation of salt by suitable irrigation method and planting salt like tall, wheatgrass, sunflower, spinach, alfalfa, etc. We can also control soil acidification through the correct and appropriate choice of crops. So these are the students points to control our soil erosion. Now we have to read the very important topic, that is water resources. You know that what is a very important resource? Water, very important renewable natural resources. Without it, it is impossible for all the human beings to survive on this earth. You know that water covers 71% of the earth's surface, and earth is also known as water planet or blue planet, as ocean has also covered the two-thirds of the total, but the ocean's water is not perfect for the human consumption, means that is not good for drinking. Now, fresh water distribution. According to the details, 97.5% of water on the surface of the earth is salt water. And you know that these 97.5% of the water that is salt water is not fit, not good for the people to drink it. Means we can't say that this is fresh water. So most of the little fresh water we have frozen as ice sheets and mountain glacier. Lakes, ponds, rivers and streams are the sources of fresh water. Wetland such as Wetlands such as swamps and marshes also have fresh water. And wetland means marshy places are also a good place for fresh water, and this water is salt free and accounts for less than 0.5% of the world's water supply. So water is not evenly distributed and neither can it be added or subtracted, but remains in constant motion, which you have already read about water cycle. Now, use of water. Water usage varies from region to region. Means in a different region, different area, water is used in different way. Water is used in different way. Animals also drink water for survival. People also drink water for survival. And washing innumerable things like clothes, vehicles, construction, bathing, etc. These are all the things also that is also consume water for its work. You see here in this figure how the peoples are using the water. Here this boy is sprinkling the water over the vegetation. Here someone is drinking the water, someone is cooking the food, someone is bathing. So these are the uses of water, and without it is not must. It is impossible to survive us on this earth. Nearly 70% of the water is used in agriculture. The great part of water is used in agriculture, as it is a calculation that 1 kilogram wheat production absorbs about to 3 cubic meters of water. So it is accepted that agriculture is a chief issue that absorb a lot of water in irrigation. Now the next point is hydroelectricity. You know that hydroelectricity is a long scale river valley project that provides water for irrigation, and also it generates hydroelectricity. In this world, about 45,000 dams in this world, and according to the record, Canada is the largest producer of hydroelectricity, followed by the US and Brazil. And in India, there are also many hydroelectricity dams like that. Hirakund Dam, like that. Bakra Nangal Dam, Mahanadi Dam. Rihand Dam project. These are the project in India also. Dams, where dams are established on the many bank side of the river, and we also produced electricity for us.